Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Powerful Partner Sustainability event. We'll get started in just a few moments, but wanted to let everyone get in from the waiting room, and then we'll get started. All right. Well, thank you so much for attending today. We really appreciate you taking some time out of your busy Thursday. And hopefully you've received your Taco Time gift card so you can grab yourself some lunch. We're going to go ahead and get started. This is the Powerful Partner Sustainability event. We'll be talking a little bit with some of our programs as well as a keynote speaker and just get some really great information that can hopefully help you on your sustainability journey. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Christian, who's going to go over some Zoom housekeeping.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Zoom meeting, Powerful Partner Sustainability Summit. Before we get started, let's review a few technical items to make sure that you can interact with us today. Within the Zoom meeting viewer on your screen, you will find the following buttons: mute and unmute, start and stop video, chat, poll, and breakout room. With regards to muting and unmuting and starting and stopping video, as a participant today, you have the ability to turn your microphone and video on. You can listen using your computer speakers or a headset. Send a test sound to check your sound if needed and confirm that your computer's volume is turned up. With regards to chat, please stay on mute while panelists are speaking during the main session and use the chat function to submit emoji reactions, comments, and questions. We will also use chat to supplement today's presentations with messages and links to useful materials. Please submit your questions and comments as they come to mind. If we don't address your question live, a PSC team member will follow up with you after the event. Please keep in mind that chats submitted here are viewed by all participants. With regards to polling, throughout the session, our panelists will invite you to respond to polls. The poll panel will pop up and we'll keep it open for just a few seconds. So please cast your vote quickly and don't forget to click the submit button so your answer can be included. With regards to breakout rooms, during this session, your host will invite you to join a breakout room. You will need to click the button for breakout rooms and follow the on-screen instructions to select and join the room of your choice. There will be a short delay and you will join the breakout room. If you need help, click ask for help. To move between breakout rooms, click breakout rooms and choose breakout room. When time is up or when you choose to move back, there will be a short delay before returning to the main session. We'll review this information again before breakout rooms begin. Finally, please note the session will be recorded. We will provide information for you to access and share the recording after the event is completed. Please note, if you're watching this recording after the event, the breakout room segment will not be recorded. Thank you for joining our meeting today. We're glad you're here and have a great session planned for you today.
All right, and with that, let's get started. So if you could move to the next slide, please. So we'll go over a quick agenda. We've already done our Zoom housekeeping, and we're going to move into a safety moment. Here at PSC, safety is a priority, and so we always like to start our meetings with a safety moment. We're going to just quickly review powerful partners and kind of that current and past partners that we've had. We're all grateful for you to be here. We're going to go into a short speaker intro and then right into our program. So we're going to start with small, medium business, move into community solar, touch a little bit on renewables, and then we'll end with our keynote speaker from EnviroStars. After that, we're going to get into some breakout rooms where we'll be able to ask some key questions and really kind of dive in a little bit more to your individual needs with any of the programs that we've spoken about today, and then we'll close it out. So with that, we'll get started and go ahead and move to the next slide. So for that safety moment, you know, if we're all Pacific Northwesters, so likely, so it's about time for that summer heat to start occurring. And it's just a great reminder to stay hydrated. You know, signs of dehydration are thirst, dry mouth, headache, muscle cramps, feeling lightheaded. So we want to make sure that we're prepared so we can have a really great time this summer. Limit your sun exposure, definitely reapply your sunscreen. And the tip I always like to give is that oftentimes the sunscreen that you have sitting in the back of your pantry or closet in the bathroom is often expired. So double check that expiration date so that you have a good quality sunscreen to use and you can keep yourself from a sunburn. And then also just take breaks. It's a great reminder that summer is all about taking it easy. And with that, we'll go to the next slide. Okay, so why were we here today, right? We've got our powerful partnership program. Just as some key reminders, you know, this partnership is really a way for us to connect with our community organizations and partner with them on some of their sustainability needs, as well as organizations that are really wanting to pioneer sustainability throughout their communities. Since 2016, we've actually partnered with over 70 organizations, and we've been able to invest about $700,000 to help you all achieve your strategic goals. So pretty exciting stuff. Next slide. So just wanted to give a quick shout out to our current powerful partners. And if you happen to be with us today, go ahead and pop yourself on screen, give a little wave so that we can really take a look and get a chance to acknowledge all of you who are joining us today. So our current powerful partners, the theme has most recently changed over into sustainability. And so these organizations have a really strong desire to help pioneer sustainability in their own communities. And so we're really excited to be able to partner with them this year. Next slide. All right, so just a quick poll. Go ahead and put it into the chat if you'd like. Do you have a sustainability plan or a committee at your organization? We would love to hear from you. All right, and we'll keep popping up those answers into the chat, and we can go ahead and move on to the next slide as well. Oh. All right, it looks like there was actually a poll that popped up. My apologies. So, if you get a chance, go ahead and give your answer in that poll statement. So if your organization has a sustainability plan or committee, yes, no, are you in the process of creating one? We'd love to find some more information for you. Okay, and let's go ahead and move on to the next slide. Oh, thank you so much. It looks like Kitsap Humane Society does have a safety committee, but they're not currently aware of a sustainability committee at the moment. So that might be something that you might want to consider for your organization. So we've always got some kind of fun, playful chances for us to kind of answer some questions together. If you could go ahead and spin the virtual wheel for us. All right. Excellent. So everyone has a chance to go ahead and pop the answer into the chat. In 2020, about how much of the electricity generated in the United States came from renewable resources? Is it A, 2%, B, 13%, C, 20%, or D, 26%? So looking forward to seeing some of those answers come up in the chat. Curious what your thoughts are. All right, Jessica's already saying B. We've got lots of Bs that are coming through. Wow, it seems everyone is in agreement. We've got quite a few Bs in the area. Go ahead and let's show our answer. Oh, it looks like it was C for 20%, which is really great. We think maybe that there's only 13%, but we've got about approximately 20% of all US electricity is generated from some sort of renewable resource. So you can definitely help grow local renewable energy projects by participating in some of our programs like Green Power or Solar Choice. And with that, let's give it another spin. Okay, this one's regarding wind. So at what wind speed can a typical modern wind turbine start generating electricity? Is it A, 6 to 9 miles per hour, B, 8 to 10 miles per hour, C, 12 to 15 miles per hour, or D, 55 to 60 miles per hour? All right, we've got a lot of people who are commenting with a mixed answer. So we're excited to be able to see. If you haven't had a chance, there's a great resource out in Ellensburg. Our Wild Horse Wind Farm is definitely a great place to take your family if you want to go on a tour so that you can see some wind turbine generation that's happening right in our own backyard. Let's go ahead and show the answer. It is A, 6 to 9 miles per hour. So it's known as a cut-in speed for wind turbines. We actually own and operate 3 large wind farms in Washington State. We've got Wild Horse that I've mentioned, as well as Hopkins Ridge Wind Facility in Columbia County and the Lower Snake River Wind Facility in Garfield County. All right, and with that, let's go ahead and move to the next slide. So we're going to go ahead and introduce our speakers today, and we'll get started with Penny. Penny, would you like to join us?
I do. Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, absolutely, Penny.
Good.
Yeah, we can hear you great.
Thank you. So I'm Penny Kaiser. I'm the program manager for PSC's Small Business Direct Install program. I have been with PSC for 13 years. I'm a self-professed light geek. I love everything to do with lighting. On my free time, I have a 20-acre farm in Monroe where I raise and love all over Nigerian dwarf goats. So a little bit there about me. So glad you guys are joining us today. So you may ask, why energy efficiency? So I've got some answers here for you. When your business takes actions that use less energy, it's not only makes good business sense, it's the right thing to do. As communities grow, the need to expand our energy supply grows with them. So energy saving actions like upgrading your building, buying Energy Star appliances, investing in smart technology, all help to take the load off the system. And that translates to a lower, that translates to a lower energy bill for you and a better energy future for us all. So next slide, please. So commercial rebate. So PSC can help your small business and your farm. Whoops, we're not on the same slide.
Hi, Penny. If we could go, and Christian, if we could go back a slide so that other presenters can introduce themselves. Thank
Oh,
you.
I'm sorry, my
That's okay.
apologies.
Thank you so much. No problem. Go ahead, Tyler. You want to introduce yourself? Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Tyler Bierstow. I am the program manager for community solar here at Puget Sound Energy. Exciting to be here, and I look forward to having the opportunity to chat with you all about community solar here shortly.
And I'm Leslie Myers. I'm the product manager for our voluntary renewables programs that we will be talking a little bit about a little bit later. Thank you. Ruth, what about you? You want to take it home?
I do indeed. Thanks, Leslie. Yeah, my name is Ruth Bell, and I'm here representing EnviroStars Washington. I am excited to talk to you all about all the free resources and great technical assistance that's available through the program. And I'll be doing that. I'll be rounding up the speakers today.
All right, thanks everyone. We're really excited to have our speakers take it off and give you some great information about how your organization become more sustainable. And we'll get started with Penny, who's going to be talking about small, medium business customers.
All right. So go ahead and advance the slide just a little bit forward for me. Yep, go ahead and go one more. Okay, so what do you suspect is the biggest energy consumer in your building? And if you guys could go ahead and put it in the poll and not in the chat. Interesting to see what everybody's opinion is on this.
Okay, there's the poll.
Oh, we've got some coming in. Oh, different one. I haven't heard of the refineries one, so that's a different one. That's a good one too. Yep, looks like we've got a real good consensus that it's the heating and cooling and followed by the lighting. Yep, excellent. Yep, there we go. All right, good job, guys. Yep, because of course, anything that's gonna, your heating system, they use a lot of power. So of course, that's gonna raise up your energy consumption. All right, okay. All right, we can go ahead and continue forward now. So PSC can help your small business and your farm navigate our energy efficiency program options, which can add up to big savings on your bottom line. From low to no cost changes to replacing heavier equipment, our programs are here to help you implement energy saving actions and make lasting changes in your business. So our current small business programs include small business and small agricultural direct install, the food service rebates, commercial HVAC and water heating rebates, and lodging rebates. Next. So there's some quick energy saving solutions that can be done without spending money or purchasing products. That includes just turning off equipment, turning it down, and keeping up with cleaning and maintenance can make a really big difference. So for example, set your water heater temperature to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a good temperature for all hot water uses outside of the kitchen, which codes are specific about the water temperature in the kitchens. Turn off your computers and your monitors when you're not in use, especially over the weekends. In the warm weather, like what we have coming up this week, lower the window blinds to block direct sunlight and reduce cooling needs. In the winter, open the blinds on the south-facing windows, let that sunlight in, and that will help with some heating of the space. And be careful with those space heaters. They tend to be real energy hogs. So next, please. So in a typical retail building, lighting, cooling, and heating represent about 60% of the total use. So some ways that you can help reduce that, turn off the lights when you're not in use. So now there's so many different products that you can use. You can install lighting controls such as photocells or timers, occupancy sensors to help you schedule that time. Turning off your heating system down and cooling systems up while the buildings are unoccupied. Those can be done by programmable thermostats, and you can also upgrade to a web-enabled thermostat. And nowadays, what do they say? There's an app for that. And absolutely, there's apps for lighting controls, there's for controlling your thermostat. There's literally an app for everything for that, which makes it really convenient for, changing your schedule to make anything more energy efficient. All right, next, please. So PSC will perform a free energy assessment. And what that is that will help you identify and will install common energy efficiency measures. To qualify for that, you just need to be a PSC electric or gas business customer. Your building is 10,000 square feet or less, and it's not a national chain. Churches, they do qualify, but what qualifies on a church is the school, a daycare, or a full-time office space inside that church. And this includes our small to medium-sized farms, hotel motels with up to 150 rooms. So if you're interested in scheduling an energy assessment, send an email over to smallbusiness@psc.com. Next, please. So with that free energy assessment, you'll receive an energy savings report. So that report is detailed on everything that was found, determined during that energy assessment. And that can include, updating some lighting, just anything and everything, maybe some, some windows. It really includes a full picture of your business's energy use. So with this program, what we do is we can install LED lighting. So that includes fixture upgrades, exterior lighting, exit and open signs, occupancy sensors, because those sensors they turn off the lighting when a space is unoccupied, and water saving products like aerators and spray heads. Those really do save a lot of water for your business. And we'll give you recommendations for some future energy upgrades. We can give you contract referrals. We just want to help you reduce your energy use and savings on your bill. All right, next, please. So with this small business direct install is the same for the small agricultural direct install. So this is for the small to medium farms. So we'll go out there and we'll do the energy assessment on those outer buildings. So your barns, your large sheds. So, it really varies. It could be just a few outer buildings, or it could be several outer buildings. It just depends on how many you have and what kind of operation you have going on. But we'll gladly walk through your farm and give you some tips on changing out the lighting or some water saving ideas on there, because anything and everything that could help a farm save on some money is what we want to do. We really want to help. All right, next page, please. So with that said, the USDA does offer some loan and grant funding, and these loans and grants are directed to help the small farm purchase and install renewable energy systems and also energy efficiency products. So they really are great. It's a partnership with the public and the private community, and they help with the financial assistance on there for business development, technical assistance, anything to help a rural business. And the funding is intended to improve the quality of life in the rural communities by enhancing economic opportunities and ensuring self-sustainability for generations to come. And you could send an email to me, smallbusiness@psc.com. I can get you connected with your local USDA team. They have a website, which is a wonderful website with a ton of information. It's rd.usda.gov. It really has anything and everything to do with a farm and sustainability. It's really a wonderful website. Next, please. So PSC does have some food service rebate program, and that's designed to help customers upgrade from standard kitchen equipment to high efficiency equipment. And it's incredible. It's amazing to me that this alone, just updating to this equipment, can reduce the operating costs by as much as 75% compared to the standard equipment. That's a lot. All you have to do, purchase and install Energy Star equipment. These incentives can range anywhere from $40 to $7,000 each. So they really are a large rebate incentive for those restaurants and commercial kitchen customers. They really are great. We also have incentives for commercial HVAC and water heat, because a lot of times that's 50% of your bill right there is, anything to do with heating and water. So that really can save a lot, because you really want to focus on the comfort of your employees and customers in any way that you can save. And let's see. So finally, we're going to go with the lodging rebate, which is for the hotel motel up to 150 rooms. And that's our package terminal heat pumps and our occupancy thermostats. So those are really good ways to help control the temperature in the room. For larger projects, so more complex, larger projects, we do have a commercial grants, custom grants program, and that's on our website there too. And industrial customers, we also have something for them too. So we kind of have something for everybody, but our website, psc.com, click on the small business. It really has anything and everything that you want. It'll direct you where you want to go. But I want to thank everybody for joining me in this presentation. If you have any questions, definitely send me an email. And so you can send me a direct email at mine, penny.kaiser@psc.com, or the small business at psc.com email. I manage both of those, and I look forward to speaking with you. So, all right, Tyler, it's over to you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? Yes, perfect. I will take no news as good news. Thanks, Penny, for walking us through our various energy efficiency options. I'm going to be speaking with you all today about renewables, and more specifically, our community solar program. To start us off, I know I introduced myself a little bit, but I am Puget Sound Energy's Community Solar Program Manager. And a little bit about me, before this, I worked in the solar space in Southern California. So it's really exciting to be back in the area, helping folks like you all learn about renewable energy and also make conscious decisions around your carbon footprint. So I'm going to walk you all through, first through how community solar works on a general level, and then transition to look at how community solar can fit into your greater sustainability plans. Okay, so what is community solar? Community solar is a new renewable energy program that offers 100% local solar energy without having to invest in or install your own solar array. Customers subscribe to shares in a newly constructed local solar energy site of their choice and receive bill credits for the energy that their shares generate. This renewable energy replaces some or all of your regular electricity usage and helps us drive a clean energy supply. So we officially launched this program in 2021 with our inaugural site going live in November of last year. Now, currently, we have 3 sites that are up and running for our customers. One is in Olympia, one is in Issaquah, and we have one out in Kittitas County. When designing this program, we wanted to find a way to bring the benefits of solar local, which is why you'll see we have these sort of localized solar arrays throughout our service area. But the best part is that we're still not done. We have a bunch of more sites coming with our goal of reaching 20 megawatts of capacity by 2025. Currently, we're sitting at 6, so we have just over 3 times as much currently in the books, which is super exciting. So how does community solar work? When electing to enroll in this program, customers select their desired community solar site, and then they can pay a monthly subscription fee of $20 per share per month. And then each month, customers will receive energy credits based on actual energy generation at the site that they're enrolled in. I will add that PSE believes in a clean energy future that is inclusive and expands access to renewable energy for more of our customers who face those barriers to participation. Not only do we offer this program for customers that either cannot install or afford to install their own residential solar array, we also have an income eligible option for qualifying customers. This really means that equity is the core of community solar. And that's what I wanted to mostly speak to this group about today, which is income eligible community solar. So if we want to go to the next slide, please. Perfect. So this is Puget Sound Energy's only income eligible renewable energy option. Oftentimes with solar or even sustainability in general, I think we tend to have this idea that it's some sort of privilege. It can be cost and inaccessible. However, this program was designed so that everyone can have access to the benefits of local solar energy, regardless of socioeconomic status. So we set aside about 2% of the capacity or the shares to be used as a part of the income eligible portion of the program. So what's the income eligible portion? So that's what we're going to talk about now. I think most importantly,
I think we may have lost Tyler's sound. Is that everybody else's experience too?
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Okay, so I can take over. I'm Leslie Myers. I'm the product manager of a number of different voluntary renewable programs, one of which is community solar. So Tyler and I actually work really closely together. And one of the things that we wanted to bring to this group to make sure is that this group knows community solar isn't really about your organization being able to become more sustainable. The numbers just are too much. But what we're, you can leave it back on the community solar if that's okay. Thank you. And so what we wanted to bring to this group is to just make sure that you knew we have what we call an income eligible program. It's something that is for our customers that have a higher energy burden and lower income generally for their household. It's for customers that have homes that have reached 200% of the federal poverty level or lower. And it's a way to participate in the program. There's no upfront, there's no share cost. And there's the participants get a credit for the energy that's generated. And so we've really been trying to get the word out about that. We have made it easier to enroll in this program than some of our other income eligible programs at PSC. And we're really just sort of like wanting to make sure that the nonprofits that are on this call are aware that this happens. And if you have anybody in your client base that could be a good fit, to email us and we can help get your client signed up. So we can go ahead and move into my section. That's smooth transition. You can email Tyler. Everybody will get his contact information, or maybe it can go in the chat. And go ahead and what's on the next slide? I'm trying to remember. Okay. So really what I'm here to talk about are the different ways that you can
you can incorporate renewable energy into your plans. If there's one thing I want you to walk away from after this presentation is that there's a lot of ways that we can make renewable energy part of your organization's sustainability story. And at PSC, of course, we have a lot of different programs to choose from. But what I find that most people want to understand, and even participants that are in the programs that I manage have questions about the nuts and bolts behind the programs. What are the details about behind the programs that actually make them work? How do they put you in touch with renewable energy? And how can you incorporate that and claim that as an action that you're doing to help the environment? Otherwise, if you don't really understand the nuts and bolts behind the different vehicles behind the programs, then sometimes people are like, well, isn't that greenwashing? And I'm here to say it's not greenwashing, and this is how it works. And so my presentation is really about how you can connect with renewable energy if you aren't installing solar panels on your property. So go ahead and go to the next slide. Starting with electricity, next slide. Thank you. So the most direct way to connect with renewable energy at your organization is to generate your own. It has the highest upfront investment, but you see it, you can feel it. It's right there on your property. You know what's happening. The most common technology is solar, but I really like this photo, which is from a hydro project owned by Covington Water District, where they have a turbine in their water main. So there's a lot of benefits to generating your own, but it's limited. And so some of the other products, so let's go ahead and go to the next slide, are a little bit more flexible. So the first vehicle that I'll talk about is what's called a power purchase agreement. A power purchase agreement is a long-term contract tied to a specific project. It locks in pricing. Because you have that contract, you've already agreed to pay a certain amount for the energy that's generated for a certain period of time. The most common technologies behind that are wind and solar. And I have a little diagram next that can help kind of show how it works. So if we'll go to the next slide. So when you have a PPA, this is you without the PPA. You're the organization over on the left, you're paying your bill, electricity is coming to you from a generator through our transmission line. And then on the next slide, you'll see, when you add a PPA, you're adding that element up in the upper right, which is the energy is being generated. Sometimes that project is built specifically for you as a customer. And so you have signed a long-term contract to say, I will buy this energy. And in many cases, that means that the project developer can get funding to even do the build because they have a variety of they have customers signed up through a PPA. In this case, at PSC, we have a program that's very much like a PPA. It is waitlist only, but for the participants that are in that program, if we go all the way back to the left, you'll see that your bill, you still pay your bill, but you're also getting a credit for the energy that you're not using from the generator that's in the lower right, and your greenhouse gas emissions go down, and you get to claim that energy as part of your greenhouse gas emissions reduction. Next slide. The next and the more common vehicle behind programs like what we have at PSC are what's called a Renewable Energy Certificate. So Renewable Energy Certificate, or a REC, is a highly flexible vehicle for participating and bringing renewable energy to your business and your sustainability plans. It's transactional, which sometimes people say, oh, that doesn't feel very close because I'm just buying something, but the convenience is actually a big part of why it's so attractive. And in fact, the reason why we chose Taco Time today for your lunches is because Taco Time signed up earlier this year to match 100% of their restaurants renewable or electricity with renewable energy certificates through one of our programs. What I like about the REC programs too is that it's a way to support burgeoning technologies. So wind and solar, everybody thinks about, and people are curious about geothermal, and geothermal could be a really major player in renewable energy here in the United States, but the economics are still being worked out. It's still pretty expensive. When you purchase if you purchase RECs, you're really kind of purchasing stable, something that's a clean price that's predictable. And if you go to the next slide, we'll have a little diagram to talk more about that. So This is actually your organization or your home without the REC. You're paying your bill, the electricity is coming to you, you're getting it from the energy generator in the lower right-hand corner. On the next slide, you'll see that when you're purchasing a REC, you're actually purchasing energy on top of your regular bill. And so you'll get your bill, you'll pay a little bit more because of what you're purchasing. In most cases, it's a 1 cent more per kilowatt hour, and you are claiming the greenhouse gas emissions reduction as part of your sustainability strategy. Now, RECs are generated by a number of different resources, and I was talking about geothermal earlier. And so if you look at the little certificate in the right, the price of the REC is really driven by the technology and the geographic location behind it. So here in the Pacific Northwest, the market is hot. People are really interested. More and more organizations want to have renewable energy as part of their story. And so being able to purchase these RECs here from the Pacific Northwest, which is what we do through our programs, means that we are looking at long-term contracts. We are working with developers that haven't built yet, that are looking for customers so that they can get the financials. And we have a couple of programs here where we can connect our customers. So a REC represents 1 megawatt of energy generated and added to the grid. So it's not something that could happen, it's something that has happened, and that's what a REC is. Next slide. Oh, okay, natural gas. So we have a couple of things that we can talk about with natural gas. Go ahead and go to the next slide. So carbon offsets. A lot of you have probably heard about a carbon offset, but wondered what it is. Carbon offsets, like RECs, are highly flexible. They're convenient because of that transactional nature. And they can be, it's another one of those like really hot markets in the Pacific Northwest. Carbon offsets are kind of going through the roof right now, but we have a program that has some price stability because we're buying in such large quantities. Now, there's two different kinds of carbon offsets that people can purchase. One is an avoiding, and the other is removing. So avoiding carbon offsets that are for avoiding are from organizations that have made a change to their business to keep greenhouse gas emissions from going up into the atmosphere. For example, a landfill may have, normally a landfill is free to emit, and things are breaking down, there's gas emitting and it's going up into the atmosphere, and there's not really anything that they're doing about it. A landfill, for example, would be able to install technology to capture that gas and burn it to make clean electricity, or I'm sorry, not clean electricity, to keep it from going into the environment. The other is type of carbon offset, and some people find to be the more legitimate type of carbon offset, is removing. And so these are technologies that are actively removing carbon that's already been emitted. The easiest way to visualize that is through forestry. A lot of people are really comfortable with that. They understand that a tree is capturing carbon and turning it into leaves and trunks, and they're good to go. So the program that we have purchases carbon offsets that remove from the atmosphere, and they're all forestry. Let's take a look at the next slide. And so with a carbon offset, you continue to be a regular natural gas customer. You're paying your bill, the gas is coming to you through a pipeline. Next slide. If you're in one of our carbon balance program, on top of your bill, you are adding those forestry carbon offsets. So you're paying a little bit more and it's being added to your bill, but you're also able to claim the greenhouse gas emissions reduction thanks to the carbon offset. Like RECs, carbon offsets, the price for carbon offset is based on the technology behind it and the geographic location. Again, people want that Northwest carbon offset, and so we're paying for it right now. Avoidance carbon offsets are less expensive than something like that's actually actively removing the carbon from the atmosphere. And then the last vehicle we'll talk about on the next slide is renewable natural gas. So this is a much newer technology, and in fact, we just launched our program. PSC has been purchasing renewable natural gas and putting it into our pipeline for a number of years already. But in December, we started a voluntary program for customers that wanted to participate and have renewable natural gas for them. So this is, again, it's convenient. You're turning it on, and the carbon the renewable natural gas is actually coming through the pipeline into your home or your business. It is, however, still pretty expensive because it's new technology. Let's go to the next slide. So here, again, you're using your regular natural gas, you're paying your bill, it's coming through the pipeline. And on the next slide, in this case, you're purchasing renewable natural gas that's also being added to the pipeline and going to your home. If you're a member or a participant in our renewable natural gas program, what you get here is you're paying your bill, but you also see a credit for the conventional natural gas that you're no longer using, as well as seeing your greenhouse gas emissions go down. Next slide. So this is just a slide, really boring. It's a table. These are all the programs that we have that we've kind of covered. I didn't talk about community solar on here because I didn't think it was relevant necessarily for this audience, but certainly happy to handle those questions. This just kind of gives you an overview of what we've got, and that's pretty much my presentation. I believe that's my last slide after my thank you. Yep, thank you.
All right, well, thank you so much, Leslie, Tyler, and Penny. We're going to be turning it over to our keynote speaker, so we can go to the next slide. Perfect. So Ruth Bell is going to be joining us to talk a little bit more about EnviroStar. So Ruth, if you'd like to come on camera, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks so much. I'm happy to be here today. Hello to everyone. So we've been hearing a lot about PSE programs, and there's certainly many that are relevant for sustainability. I'm going to bring it out a notch and talk about EnviroStars Washington, which, as you'll see, addresses many different resources in addition to energy savings. So before I get started, though, I wanted to just say that that I've been doing sustainability work, and I've been in this field for over 30 years. And one of the things I wanted to just recognize is that organizational change is challenging and incremental, and it helps with sustainability, certainly to have a vision and goals and access to resources and guidance. So hopefully today's presentation and breakout groups will provide the inspiration for you as you strive for greater sustainability and green actions. That's the hope. So let's move to the next slide. I wanted to start with a couple of questions. The first question I have here for you, and I'm hoping you can put your responses in the chat, is what sustainability practice or accomplishment are you most proud of at your organization? So what sustainable practice or accomplishment are you most proud of at your organization? I'll just give you a couple minutes here to put that in the chat. While you're thinking of those responses, oh great, here comes a couple of them. So I would say one of the things that for our organization is a kind of a green purchasing policy, and we buy from local businesses that use as little packaging as possible. And so it's been a great way to explore all the local business options, and really buying local has been, it's fun for a lot of reasons. So that's been great. Great, thank you, Jessica, who wrote building homes that are near net zero. That's great. Anyone else or anyone want to offer up a sustainable practice that they're most proud of at your organization? Installing rain gardens throughout our site. Great. Good. Zoodoo program. Yeah, that's a favorite. I know a lot of people love Zoodoo. Significantly reduces our waste and turns it into compost. That's great. Okay, I'm going to move, please continue if you've got other ones. I'm going to move to the next. Great. So this question, another second question, what sustainable action or process are you planning next? And so this one is, it can be anything from we're going to create a plan, we're going to figure out our next to do, or if you've got, if you want to if you're buying recs for your organization, whatever it is that that you think would be exciting to tackle next. What is that next project for you? And I'm going to go back and read a couple other things here. Part of the affordability sustainability for our home buyers. All of our homes are built to green standards. That's great. Help reduce the monthly operating costs. Appreciate supporting towards zero waste installations and waste sorting throughout some PSC offices through our employee green team. That's great. Good to waste prevention. It's super helpful to look at waste in order to understand what's going in there. Solar project at our home workstation place project. That's great. Okay, good. Well, that gets the juices flowing a little bit. Moving on to the next slide. So I'm going to talk a little, like I said, a little bit about EnviroStars. EnviroStars is a program that encompasses much of Western Washington. So many of the local jurisdictions and counties in Western Washington. It's a free one-stop hub for organizations to get information and help and recognition for actions that protect their workplace, their community, the planet. Our goal is really to assist organizations in reducing costs, conserving resources, gaining a competitive edge, contributing to a clean and healthy community. So it's really about celebrating and recognizing what you're doing as an organization towards green actions. It's a program that requires you to go through a green action checklist, and just in a few slides, I'll show what that looks like a little bit. And you get points for each green action you're taking. And one of the cool things is you'll see that there's a lot of actions. When you go into the checklist, you'll see that there's a lot of actions that you already do and that you're may not even be aware of or considered green. And if you're taking actions that aren't on the checklist, we may recognize those actions too and give you points for them. So and organizations get a lot of ideas for new actions from going through the checklist that they can implement, and it's a really valuable part of that process. So once you fill out the checklist, you're recognized under the program. You gain access to free marketing benefits. You're listed on our Green Business Directory. And then it's super easy to get started. It's a 15-minute phone call. We've got people who answer a hotline, call you back, very easy to access. And one of the cool things too is once you get in the door with a very simple initial checklist, you can always come back and add actions later, and then you can move up in tiers and continue to get more recognized and celebrated for your actions. Okay, let's move to the next slide. So there's 3 easy steps really, application process. There's, you go to envirostars.org to start your application online, mark the measures that apply to your organization. You complete the green action checklist. And you can see on the slide, I know it's small, but you can see what that checklist looks like. This is a portion of it. And then one of the really cool things in the checklist process itself is that it pops up green tips. And there's an example of this on the right of the slide. And you can see that the PSC program, some of which you just heard about, I think both of which you just heard about, are actually popped up on the slide here, showing what's provided, what opportunities are available to you right now. So that'll come through and it'll be based on where you're located, where your organization is located. So that automatically auto generates and pops up and shows you what tips or what resources are available to you today. And then once you're done with that, you start getting recognized. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So many organizations, many jurisdictions are interested in climate action. There's a lot that have goals already, targeted reduction for greenhouse gas emissions. And this checklist includes just a few of the things I wanted to mention: reducing water and energy use, wasting less and enhancing recycling, preventing stormwater and wastewater pollution, using non-toxic cleaners, supporting sustainable transportation, and for taking actions to support health and well-being of your employees and community, including supporting other EnviroStars. Great. So what green means is something different for every organization. There's different tier levels. Before we go there, I just wanted to say that there's a lot of data and a lot of evidence that residents are interested in green businesses and green organizations. They're paying attention. So they buy green, they are very interested in corporate responsibility. They want businesses to share how they're green, and then they want to know more about how to tell if brands are green. So there's a lot of interest. For EnviroStars, there's 3 different tier levels. So there's the partner, tier 1, the leader, tier 2, and then champion, tier 3. And then the different benefits are based on tier level achieved. So the more benefits, the higher you go in the program. Okay, next slide. And I wanted to show an example of an organization that is a champion that is with us on this call today, which is exciting. So Woodland Park Zoo, recognized as an EnviroStar in 2017, has done a tremendous amount of work and is really a green champion for our area. And this quote is great. It's been a great program for us, not only to have guidelines for areas we could improve, but also to have support and to be able to ask questions. Being sustainable isn't necessarily easy. That's how I started this conversation, especially if you've already started down the path and you've taken care of some of the easy things. EnviroStars offers you a network to tap into so you can ask questions, learn, and also share your experience. And, you know, again, it's an opportunity and a way to celebrate your success. So many businesses and organizations have taken very easy steps. And so it really is a way to, well, both do the easy steps, but also go beyond that. Okay, next slide. So some of the resources we have: free waste signage and posters to make the garbage bills at their lowest, branded window clings, a physical certificate to put up on your shop or in your organization, in your lobby area, whatever it is, featured business posts on our social media channels to help you reach more people, more of your members, more of your client base, on YouTube and Facebook. And then we list every organization in the Green Business Directory as well. And let me see, next slide. Yeah, this one is, we recognize organizations through custom digital advertising. So we share success stories. And these 3 EnviroStar champions have been featured in those success stories. So it's always fun to see your good work being celebrated online and recognized by your by the EnviroStars membership and also customers that come. And then finally, next one, we list everybody in the online directory. And that's really fun to toggle through if you haven't had a chance to do that before. There's hundreds of green businesses listed, green organizations. And next slide. There's also a shopping app for customers. So by location, by type of business, they can find resources or find locations to shop at that are green, which is also a really cool resource. And then next slide, I was just going to talk a little bit about some of the resources that we have, the free resources. Rebates, of course, lots of rebates. And we've heard about some of those from PSE directly, and then there's many others as well. Trainings for your green teams and employees and leadership. So we cover, where the waste goes in Seattle, how to sort the items most commonly used at your organization, and answer questions. Everybody always has questions about what's recyclable and why and how that process works. We can do the trainings virtually. We offer trainings in multiple languages. So if you've got staff in multiple languages or and are interested in that, we can do that as well. We have free waste signage. We have also in language waste signage, and can customize it for the items that you have in your organization. So contact, we're easy to contact. There's, I've got information on the last slide, but let me go one more. I think I've got one more content slide. Yeah, this one. We also have specific water conservation services for people, for organizations in the Saving Water Partnership area. There's rebates for more efficient fixtures and equipment like toilets, commercial kitchens, laundry, irrigation. There's actually a lot of irrigation. So if that's something that's relevant to you, there's a lot of saving potential there. And then water use assessments, we can also do that online. Utility bill analysis, sub-metering of equipment is something that a lot of organizations want to do to see where they're using the most water. And then again, lots of signage and free resources for organizations in the water area. Okay. And then my information for connection is next. So lots of ways to connect with us. We've got a staff hotline. We get back to you quickly. We can walk through the checklist with you on the phone. So lots of ways to get in touch with us and get help through EnviroStars.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ruth. That was super informative, and really appreciate you taking the time today to be able to share out some information about the EnviroStars program. So just a couple of quick notes. Breakout rooms are about to start. So you'll have approximately about 20 minutes to be able to meet each of the speakers and really get to know or ask some additional questions that you might have about your specific organizations. So breakout rooms are not assigned. So you'll need to use the Zoom breakout rooms button as featured in the image there to go ahead and select the breakout room that you're most interested in. Click on the button, follow those on-screen instructions to select and join the room of your choice. There's going to be a short delay, but then you'll be transferred over to the breakout room. If you need any help, please click on the Ask for Help button, and you can actually move in between breakout rooms by clicking breakout rooms and choosing breakout rooms to go ahead and just kind of skip over to the next one if you'd like to get some additional information from another speaker. When the time is up, there's going to be a short delay before returning to the main session, and we're going to be talking a little bit about all the things that we've learned in the breakout rooms. And so with that, please go ahead and select the breakout room of your choice. All right, welcome back, everybody. We'll give it just a second for everyone to come back into the room, but we hope you were able to learn some really valuable lessons. We thought we would just kind of give a moment to briefly discuss what happens in each of the breakout rooms if you weren't able to attend all four. Each of the topics is very, very interesting, and I'm sure there's some valuable information shared. So we'll have Hunter Hassig join us, and he's going to give us a little bit of touch point on EnviroStars. Hunter?
Sure, absolutely. So taking some notes we had in our breakout room, myself and Zach, we had Jessica Hess with our current Hvac powerful partner, Culture Community Land Trust. We had Jeff Chandler with our Snohomish powerful partner, Housing Hope. And then we had Donald McMorrin at the WSU Extension in Skagit County. And so some of the things that we spoke about, we talked a bit about waste, moving towards zero waste, as Sustainable Connections would call it in Whatcom County. And one of the things that I expressed was a frustration with getting everyone trained up and doing the right thing, even once you have set up the proper bins, you have set up composting and recycling with your refuse company, you have put the color-coded photos with all the examples, you've got employees together and you've given them a waste sort training. You've done everything that you would think that you would need to do to get people on the same page. And some people just still aren't on the same page. So I expressed, what do we do in that scenario? And I brought up one thing, and that was you could do the taco time model, which is, everything goes into one bin, which is the compost bin. And then Ruth shared that part of she totally understands that frustration, and this is part of the reason that organizations like hers and others are working at the state level to reduce the amount of single-use plastics and other items so as to reduce customer confusion on what goes where. Shannon Glenn at PSE was also in the room, and she was curious about the intersection of EnviroStars and the Thurston Chamber of Commerce green business program called Thurston Green Business. And she noticed that while there's only one EnviroStar in Thurston County, there's about 200 Thurston green businesses. who would probably love the cross promotion that EnviroStars would provide on their social media and on their directory list, and with their marketing and such. So that's something Ruth's going to look into. We had a conversation about with Donald over at WSU Extension in Skagit about farm worker health and just worker health in general. It seems like more and more of his work is transitioning towards that, and that kind of opened up a conversation about how worker health really is one of the pillars of what allows an organization to pursue sustainability and environmental practices. So let's see, anything else? There was a request from one of the organizations just to ensure that effective marketing pieces and collateral being shared out on a regular basis when they're updated.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Hunter. That was clearly lots of fun things that were being learned over in the EnviroStars breakout room. So let's have Liv join us over from Renewable.
Hi, everyone. So in my room in Renewables with Leslie Myers, we had Michelle Graff from Kitsap Community Resources, and we had Anna Johnson from Woodland Park Zoo. And we got a very interesting question, is where to start with a sustainability plan? Like, what would be the first steps? Because it can be overwhelming. And a few answers we got is, or a few tips to a few steps is, to start by engaging your clients and your employees to know what's important to them. That's the first step, because they are the ones that are going to do the job and be part of it. And then also look at what's doable for you budget-wise, also very important. And to be able to get some help with that, the next step would be to have a sustainability committee. If you don't have one yet, those committee can help you with look up the budget and all the work that needs to be done. Another step would be to start with energy efficiency, because conservation of energy is the first step. And then last but not least, you can do small things around your office. For example, there was an example said about the kitchen. Do you have plastic cups and plastic, things in plastic? You can change that to things that are reusable instead of things that you throw away. And that could also be a way for your employees to be part and understand the process of being more sustainable.
Excellent. Those are some really great tips to share, and I'm sure we'll all learn some great lessons from that. Let's bring over Tommy from Small Medium Business.
Hey everybody, Tommy here in the Small Medium Business breakout room with Penny. We had Ken from Boys and Girls Club in Snohomish County. We went over a couple of things, discussed the free site assessments that can replace, the old inefficient lighting, T8s, T12s to TLEDs. We also talked about the great powerful partnerships and why we do them. Also help leverage others in the community that you may know, share your experiences with the past programs you've done with PSE, encourage others to do the same and be efficient that way. So that's kind of the main two topics we covered.
Excellent. Fantastic. Our powerful partners are definitely some of our best community partners. So we really appreciate you. All right, David, David Parker Brown, let's talk about some community solar for a minute.
Yeah, we have the good old Tyler in our room with us. We kind of talk big picture about, how organizations can define what it is to be sustainable and different things that we can do. And, we've kind of stayed with the big picture a little bit, talking about how, we can, as PSE, can work with organizations to really customize how to work with meet the energy efficiency. And with like the income eligible solar choice, which is for lower income folks, income eligible folks, that, we talked about how we had some difficulty getting people to maybe sign up, and we're going directly to them. So being able to work with organizations directly to have then you work with your customers. So you're able to kind of show, and also like you're able to, as you're doing your own energy efficiency that, you know, kind of able to give that motivation for them, other people, your customers, your volunteers, your employees to do their own energy efficiency, and then also be able to talk about the different programs that might be available too. So really that teamwork, that we're not just connecting with you one time as a powerful partner or coming in with you for the, you know, light bulbs or whatever it is, that we really want to do that longer term relationship to help you, your customers, your workers, your volunteers to help with that energy efficiency. So it's great.
Excellent.
And I also put a link to the program in the chat for everyone as well. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, David. So just wanted to say just a quick thank you for joining us today. You know, this was a lot of valuable information. If you've got any questions, we've got those contacts in the chat. You can also reach out to your outreach lead who is in your area that you might have partnered with during your Powerful Partnership. When this meeting concludes, we're going to encourage you to fill out a quick post-event survey that Zoom's going to send out to you. We really value your feedback about this. This is the first event of its kind. So we really look forward to learning about more like what was important to you in this meeting, what you were able to learn, and how we can improve for the future. So hope you're enjoying those tacos, and please enjoy the great weather that's going to be out this weekend, and do not forget your sunscreen. And with that, we'll go ahead and close it out.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
you.
Great job.
Great presentation.